And we are live. Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 53 of the Multiverse show. Thank you, everybody, for showing up tonight, and it is going to be a blast. Before I forget, thank you, Mike, for reminding me. If you are interested in joining our Discord chat, you guys can go and check that out. Link in the description below, and you guys can go join our Discord chat and talk with the rest of the Inner Circle. We got a very good panel laid out for today. Some really good topics. But real quick, who just snuck into the room here, we'll start with my original co-host, Fame Entertainment.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I extremely apologize if I sound
He's
a little
taking
bit...
a vow of silence until a game he loves is actually coming out.
Huh? Can you guys even hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, if I sound weird, I apologize. I'm actually on the road, actually headed home, so I do apologize for not really being on time or really being prompt in today's podcast. I did want to make sure I poke my head in here to let you know you guys are listening to the greatest show on a Monday. Thank you guys for joining the Multiverse show. It's going to be one hell of a show. You got one hell of a panel today, and you guys are really going to enjoy what we are bringing to you on this glorious Monday.
All right, we got my other co-host from the original. We got Undead.
What's going on, everybody? Glad to be back on the podcast on a Monday. I'm kind of asleep right now, so hopefully I'll wake up some point.
And we got our other no longer Soundmaster General, unfortunately, James.
Yes, the Prometheus apologizer himself. I'm one of the fair few people that actually really liked Prometheus, but there you go. Yes, at James_S Wilson, come talk to me about films, Radiohead, and why What Remains of Edith Finch might be the game of the year.
All right. And we got our other co-host, Mike.
All right, guys, it's Mike from the Inner Circle at TICGN.com. Thank you guys once again for tuning in to another fine episode of the Multiverse show. The show on Monday nights that's so good it will ensure that all other Monday night podcasts are deleted. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh. And I'm so proud to finally announce our guest for the evening, Stevie Richards.
Let's see if I have a 30-second blip of my own. Well, I guess I'll follow my Twitter bio where it says I'm a fitness fanatic. I can't really do the emoji though over audio, but fitness fanatic, cat lover, conspiracy theorist. No, yeah, I'm a wrestler too. How's that?
All right, man. I'm so excited. We got a lot of great topics to cover tonight. But first off, we had some breaking news just an hour ago. Microsoft has announced that the much anticipated Phantom Dust is actually going to be free starting tomorrow.
I would say I called this.
Yep.
Yeah, I said 15 are free. So I had to get one of them right. So I'm happy it's free. I mean, I saw this coming. I mean, the fact that they didn't have the assets to go in and update the textures and things like that, they pretty much all give us it's pretty much a port. It's a re-release, so they're not going to charge the people. So I figured it would be free, and I mean, I'm 2 for 2, I guess, when it comes to my bold prediction. So I'm happy about this. I was going to get it regardless if I had to pay for it or not, but I am super excited about that.
See, Fame's excited for it. The game will be canceled by midnight tonight.
I'm surprised it's even coming out now.
Hey, man, don't do me like that.
All right. So going into some of our topics for the evening, we have an opportunity here. We have Stevie Richards on the show. We had to ask a couple of questions first. Like that just had to happen. I believe Mike has the first question for the evening.
So, Stevie, if you could start out by just telling everybody how you got into wrestling and what your overall career trajectory in wrestling has been up until this point.
Well, I lived in Philadelphia. I was born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I basically just no second generation, no third generation. I just basically decided to go to a wrestling school in mid 1991 and be a wrestler and learn everything the hard way over 26 years. And I've been just about everywhere. I've been really lucky, really blessed to wrestle in every major company on this continent, as well as others. Still wrestle today. I wrestle for Wildcat Wrestling. I'm their heavyweight champion. So we just had a show on May 6th. Now we're going to go into the Philadelphia, into the ECW arena on June 10th. So there's a lot of exciting things. I'm still wrestling for, like I was just in Nashville Saturday night. I'm going to wrestle somewhere in a couple weeks, then Philadelphia, then back to New Orleans. So I stay pretty busy with that. But as you guys have discovered, I have other outside interests, which kind of fill in my time much more now than ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that kind of goes into the next question we had for you. I'm just okay. So I was personally extremely surprised. You have a YouTube tech channel.
I do. I have almost 1,000 videos. I deleted a lot of them because they were just kind of the content wasn't quite what I wanted to put up there, and it just was weird. You know, but the bad stuff is still up there from the early days, so everybody can go check that out. But you know, I started in January 2007, and actually it was funny because that was it was before the infancy of social media in WWE, when it was WWF. Actually, it was WWE when I left, and you know, I wanted to have a creative outlet because I wasn't quite getting one there, and they were trying to do a bunch of stuff on WWE.com where guys could do outside interests. You know, kind of exactly what they're doing right now. They were trying to really do that around 2006, 2007. And you know, the vision they had for the way they wanted me to present myself on camera and through these tech reviews that I was going to do was quite frankly not what I wanted to do. So in January 2007, probably a reason why you didn't know about it is I started under my real name, Michael Manna, for the longest time, and just recently rebranded it just to stop the confusion of people saying, well, Stevie Richards is this guy and Michael Manna is this guy, and just have it all kind of converged. But it was good because a lot of people to this day who I work with, these tech companies, still don't know that I wrestle. They have no clue, and they still send me products. I still review them. I still give them feedback, and they have no clue that I've been doing this other thing for 26 years.
Wow.
Well, I wanted I didn't want to use the wrestling as a crutch. I wanted to see if my content and the way I presented it and the job that I did reviewing products was good enough to either warrant working relationships for free products or not. I didn't want people to just do it as a novelty to give the wrestler a tech item to review.
Well, we know you're a tech guy, and you just said yourself that companies send you stuff for free. What kind of games do you play in your time, and what games do you want to be sent for free?
Well, not too many games get sent. A lot of indie developers will give me codes for Steam and stuff like that, and I haven't. The last one I played on that was actually one of my favorite games, Faster Than Light. I don't know if you guys ever played that game. It's an amazing game. I'm a huge Trekker, not Trekkie. I'm into Star Trek and Next Generation and everything present day with the Star Trek universe. But the game I play just about every day is probably Madden. So I'm a huge sports fan. I'm a huge football fan. Playing Madden is great, and to be able to play head to head with somebody online is also really cool because it's not ever the same game twice. So it's pretty interesting. But I like shooters. I like role playing games. It just sometimes I don't have the time to invest in doing those things. So it makes absolutely no sense that now I want to buy a flight yoke and all this equipment to go back into the flight sim world, because that eats up more time than any RPG that I know.
Yeah, man. I'm not really big into flight simulators. I think the closest thing I really got into is Elite Dangerous, which is more of like a space sim, really.
Yeah, you sent me that on DM. I still have to check it out.
It is crazy. Like, it requires a lot of investment though, in terms of getting used to like the control stuff, like landing on planets as opposed to landing in stations, and it's a totally different deal.
Can you use hardware with it? Can you use like a SciTech controller or
I've
something?
seen some people use it, yeah.
Oh, that might be interesting. Because I was trying X-Plane 11 out, and I was trying to use the mouse and the keyboard, and I was just in a continuous, like, I don't even know what the degree was. I was in some kind of turn, and I was just crashed right into the tower trying to land. I don't think that's what necessarily is the object of the game.
Yeah, I know a lot of people. There's a really, really good accessory support on PC. I play on Xbox, but I know PC has a lot more support.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. I've been waiting for Microsoft Flight Simulator to come out for Xbox One, and there's no peripheral, or there's not a game out there where they would make tons of money if they did that, in my opinion. Because the flight sim community, from what I've seen, they're more ravenous than, any role-playing game people, any sports people. They'll pay money to get their fix on the game.
Do you think they end up paying more money for flight simulators than they could for like flight lessons?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they do both. So there you go. You double it. A lot of these people do that. But yeah, I know people that have $1,000 or $2,000 setups. They set up an entire. They actually have a hood on the desk where they simulate, and they put a projector into where the cutout is to make it look like 3 monitors. You guys have seen all this stuff. These people are, I don't know if I'm ready for that, but these people are pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Perfect time to bring that back would be when Microsoft drops that new VR headset this year.
I was thinking the same thing.
That probably would be. Yeah, I would. Now they're doing mixed reality first before they release the full HoloLens technology. Correct? They're going mixed.
They're doing the HoloLens one is the mixed reality one, but then there's I think they're working with Dell. I want to say it's Dell on the headset.
You could say that Intel is inside.
They better watch it.
With Master General, but making bad jokes now.
But
you can wait till the VR sex video games come out to say the inside joke. You can bring that back too.
Actually, just you know what? Just very quickly, because I went to I go to a bunch of different stuff in the London game scene, which is really fun. And someone gave me a thing. Is like just do it. It's fine. And it was a bit of VR porn.
Oh my God.
And the problem is, the headset doesn't track your eyes, so you have to constantly be looking up at women or men or whatever you're into. So it looks like everyone's a giant, and it's not pleasant.
Yeah, I saw that.
I
was gonna say I saw Pornhub's now supporting Oculus Rift and the other VR headset as well. I was kind of like, interesting.
Hey, money's money. That's what I said about going back. Well, I'll try to swing it away from porn for about 3 seconds, if you don't mind. But
please help us.
I got you covered. Don't worry. But I was going to say that's why Microsoft with the flight simulator, they already have the built-in. They already know. Maybe Project Scorpio. Maybe the specs right now for all this scenery, all the planes, all the physics, and all that stuff. Maybe the Xbox One can't handle it, but Scorpio could. More than likely. So maybe we'll see that come out.
Maybe. I don't know. Hey, we'll figure it out. Anyway, briefly, because I know a couple of you guys wanted to talk about this. Forza Horizon 3 had that Hot Wheels DLC. This is the craziest thing. I never thought I'd see it again. The last time I played anything remotely Hot Wheels was back in probably 2003, I want to say, which was like the Hot Wheels action racing or something. But apparently Microsoft's done this deal with Hot Wheels, and so they've done this whole DLC with these giant Hot Wheels tracks, and you're driving real cars going full speed on these giant tracks. It's pretty crazy. Who else has got it here?
I got it. Man, it's great. I have to honestly say, as far as a racing game is concerned, this is probably the best DLC I've ever played. Just because it's so outlandish, but it works, and the tracks, it's actually more skill-based, I think, than the base game. Because a lot of the turns are sharper than you think, and there's still gravity involved, so maintaining your speed is important. It's absolutely great. I was pissed off with what Playground Games did as far as the DLC, where they didn't bundle the expansion pass with the Ultimate Edition. But honestly, these 2 DLCs have been so good, I actually kind of forgive them for it. So.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Nick? You playing it? No?
I don't even have Forza Horizon 3, so.
I think I might get it after seeing this. I'm looking at it online right now. Yeah, I think I don't have the game either, but this would make it worth it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think they're doing a deal with it. I think it's like you get the game and the expansion for like I was like $60, $70. I don't remember. But it was something like that.
I could go for that.
Yeah, there's something. It's pretty fun. It's really kind of tempting. Like, it's so
see,
fun.
they bundled it the day it came out. They had the Ultimate Edition bundle with the Hot Wheels DLC and everything, but it still was like $105. I was like, yeah.
I feel like we got to always put a little caveat behind. It's like Canadian.
Yeah, well, there's that.
Yeah, I feel like we got to throw that out every single time. But yeah, it's a blast. It's a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it personally. And like I said, I'm not even that big of a racer guy, but this has got me back into it. Really, it's It's crazy. Like it really is amazing.
Mike, it was your game of the year last year, wasn't it?
Forza Horizon 3 was my 2016 game of the year. Indeed, it was. And I'm
This
like
is-
a.
This is before you played Firewatch, though.
This was pre-Firewatch. Yes, if I had a chance to do 2016 over again, I probably would have given it to Firewatch, to be honest. But
all right. Anyway, moving right along. Let's talk about Madden for a bit. All right. So with Madden NFL 18, they've announced the new cover athlete. It's Tom Brady. And so I think the question comes up: will he overcome the one constant in video game law, the Madden curse?
Nope. By my ACL.
But that's the one thing, is everybody has been susceptible to the curse. Everyone. It has been insane. What do you guys think? You think he's gonna fall for it, or is he gonna break that record too?
At this time, I would like to say I have absolutely no opinion. I've never played a Madden game. The sport does not interest me because I just don't. It's not my culture. So I'm going to take a back seat and let you lot take this one.
I mean, Gronk, he got hit by the curse pretty bad last year. I mean, I'm excited that Brady's on the cover. I mean, it's only fitting to have the greatest quarterback to ever play the game on the cover. But if he gets hit with the curse or not, he's still the greatest quarterback ever to play the game. So.
I don't know. He's got to prove it to me with that, breaking the curse.
I don't know. Like, personally, after the way the Super Bowl went last year, Brady could start this season off and break both his legs in the preseason, and he'll still go down as the best of all time. Probably with the worst career ending of all time, but
right.
It's still, I don't think it's anything he has to worry about. And really, if he has a down spiral like he does do mediocre this year, look at his age and everything else that would play into that more than, say, a video game cover.
And I mean, and the way that he trains and conditions himself, I mean, unless something freak happens, like what happened to him in 2008 when he tore his ACL, I really don't see it hitting him, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the same thing with Gronkowski, too, though, because didn't Gronkowski have a pre-existing injury that re-injured? Wasn't that his main issue there?
He's been hurt every year. Gronk's thing wasn't a new thing. He was just always banged up. His back, his knee, his hand and wrist. He was always playing hurt, almost from the first year he started playing for the Patriots. So yeah, but to get on the camera and break a mirror and then walk under a ladder, I don't know if you want to tempt fate that much. Did you guys see that video he did?
I saw that. He posted it on his Instagram. If you guys haven't seen it.
Yeah,
doing what?
Everything for bad luck in one video. He was.
I see. Okay.
Trying to say that Madden cursed, and then he broke a mirror, and then he took a ladder and he walked underneath it, and he said everything's fine. So,
did he?
Kind of like that. Yeah. I mean, if you believe in that kind of stuff, or you believe in karma, or kind of, I don't know. I think Roger Goodell put him on the cover on purpose so he could get rid of him finally.
Oh boy.
You guys have the free Easter egg effect too, and I know some of you might not be pro football or American football fans, but man, that handoff of the trophy and just the way, if you do that in slow motion, you still that, or you look at that really closely, and you can go on YouTube. I know people have broken it down. Wow, it was pretty much like you didn't even have to say F you to his face, but he pretty much said F you to his face after they took the trophy. It's like, we're done with you now. You can get out of here. You know, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was really fun to watch, actually.
Awesome.
Yeah, Robert Kraft even said, not to belabor the point, but Robert Kraft, even remember he said we've had a lot of them that have been sweet, and he goes, but this one here is the sweetest. Now everybody knew what he was saying and who he was talking about. There was no doubt.
Yeah, I just like the slow as the Falcons started to lose the lead there. I just like Roger Goodell's face the whole time, just like no, this isn't happening.
This can't be happening.
The slow mental breakdown in the second half was it was fantastic to watch. I'm not even a New England fan, and I thoroughly enjoyed that.
My wife is, and she was going to go to sleep, and I said they have a chance. I didn't know for a fact, but I was like, they might have a chance of winning. I go, I don't think that they're out of it. And then it started to happen, and it was the greatest Super Bowl I've ever seen in my life. It's incredible. I've seen all of them through the NFL Network. That one is by far the absolute best. And he is the greatest quarterback of all time. And maybe he will be the guy to break the curse if anybody could do it.
Oh, and I was going to say, and I am a New England fan, and that was so satisfying when Goodell had to hand that trophy over, man. I can't even tell you.
Man, I'm one of those people who I really don't care for Brady, but if he breaks this curse, I'll admit it, greatest of all time. Like I can't. Like, how do you deny it? At that point?
I'm pretty sure the greatest of all time is the guy in the wheelchair in Glee. So when Tom Brady sits down in a chair and sings a song while playing American football, then we'll talk.
I actually believe he could probably do it. That's the sad thing.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, dude, as far as this game, though, real quick, I hope every year they say Madden's going to be the best. And it's hard not to be the best when it's the only damn game that's licensed to play football. But yeah, they did with this Frostbite engine from FIFA and all the stuff they're going to offer. I hope they don't take draft champions away. And if you don't know what draft champions is, basically every 24 hours you can draft a brand new team, and it's just it's like playing fantasy football, but you're playing against somebody or you're playing against the computer, and it's really a great way for replayability. So you don't have to go into a full franchise or season mode or anything like that. But I'm still kind of upset that 2K didn't bid higher to keep the license, because NFL 2K5 is still my favorite football game of all time. And I don't know if you guys had played that game for the original Xbox. It's pretty awesome. They still keep up with the rosters. It's called NFL 2K5forever.com. They still keep up with the rosters up until this day, that you can load onto there and get the players of the current seasons.
Can I say that's really weird, because in the soccer football world, it's considered that PES 2005 is the best football soccer game.
I've played
it's weird that they're both in the same year.
Yeah, I've played that game too, and that's an amazing soccer game. The physics and just the stuff. I would say this: I don't know EA. I think they bought the ESPN license too, or the ESPN presentation, and yet they never used it. Like the NFL 2K5, if you look at it on YouTube, ESPN presentation, and just the fact, and football fans out there will know this, when I challenge in Madden, sometimes I have absolutely no idea what I'm challenging. It might be between the spot of the ball, a catch, a touchdown, whatever. On ESPN or on the NFL 2K5, on the 2K game, you have a list of stuff you can challenge, and sometimes multiple items are highlighted to challenge, which makes it even more fun, because you're like, well, what do I have the best chance of winning in the challenge? And also even the sound when the referee, I know I'm splitting hairs, but this is how much Madden I've played. When the referee comes back and says the call is confirmed or upheld or overturned or reversed, you can't even hear it in Madden. But on a game 12 years old, the audio is better on the ref's call than it is on a game that's 12 years more recent.
Yeah,
it's absolutely true.
Well, that's the thing too with a lot of the sports styles, because I play a lot of Madden. It's one of my favorite sports franchises to play. And the one thing that irks me a little bit is there's small things they don't change year to year. Like they make the big changes, and like they say there's going to be big changes this year, but there's just like the small details that are really immersive like that you just don't get. And I miss when 2K was making football games too. Like I feel with the sports games, if you have two different companies making sports games every year, you have competition, and they want to compete with each other to make the most immersive sports game. And when there's competition, it's better. And I feel like there's certain things Madden overlooks because there is no competition for them.
I'll tell you one thing they took out of the game, and I don't know if you noticed this. Used to have bone crunching hits. You would hear sounds when guys would hit each other. They took those away. I mean, I only think they took them out last year. They took them away in an update this season. And I don't know if it has something to do with the concussions or anything like that, but do you notice now that every time, even on a big head, it's completely muted, where before it would be
you don't get that satisfactory sound anymore. It's disappointing.
And I think you're absolutely right. I think it has to do with the whole concussion thing.
They gotta, like you said, they need to look at different things. The NFL and EA, instead of just fix the concussion problem. Don't take the sound of a concussion out of a game. That doesn't fix anything.
Mhm. All right. So moving on to another topic, another interesting one actually. So Injustice 2 is dropping tonight. I know a good bunch of us here are all comics fans to an extent. So Injustice 2 is following the fighting game from, what was it, 2010, 2011? I forget what year it was originally, but following that game, they're finally getting a sequel to it. I'm not a big fighting game guy, but this is a pretty good intro one, I guess. Like I played the first one, I was like, okay, I get the basics. I can do the combos. I can get a couple good hits in, and it was pretty good time. It was fun because you got to see a bunch of DC characters coming back and having a good time, and just like it was fun. And now we're doing a sequel, and now we have all these new characters coming into it, and like people I didn't expect ever to see come into it, like Swamp Thing is going to be in on this. So I kind of want to get everyone's kind of impressions on it, like who's committing to Injustice 2, if you have any remote interest in it, just kind of what the general vibe was here.
It's interesting you mentioned Swamp Thing. I'm not a massive Injustice player. I played the first one because it was on PS Plus, I think last Christmas or the Christmas before that. And I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the story. I thought it was a really, really well told story, even though it's really quite complicated. The thing about Swamp Thing, a friend of mine who is a massive fighting games guy, he said the addition of a ranged grappler has entirely changed the idea of competitive play. Those are his words, and I'm just wondering if anyone else can elaborate on that, because I can't.
I mean, the whole thing about having a grappler in a fighting game is namely just that it creates this sense of dread because you can't get close to a hit because when he grabs you, he's gonna really get at you, take out a good chunk of your health. But I mean, that's gonna be concerning on a technical level. But more just terms of just like general fandom. Who here is excited?
I'm totally excited for it. My mains are probably going to be Batman and Swamp Thing, and one of the things I'm real looking forward to is just the story. NetherRealm does such a good job with the story modes and just the overall package in their fighting games. Like even if you look back to when they rebooted Mortal Kombat and Injustice and Mortal Kombat X, they just give you a total package. You get a story mode, you get a challenge tower mode, you get the traditional arcade tower, online training mode. They just give you the total package, and I think it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. All right, Nick, what are you doing?
If I could afford the game right now, I would totally get it. But I've got other games that are taking priority. This is probably something I'll pick up when it gets cheaper. If that transmutation from Bethesda Softworks ever works, and I get Prey, then I might pick it up after that.
Oh man, that was a funny picture though.
It's actually really funny because I came up with the idea initially, and then I was talking to my wife about it, and my wife just kind of made it 10 times better than it actually would have been. Like I was just going to do the game cases, and she was like, oh, but we've got all these glasses and flasks. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, it was cool.
All right. What about you, Stevie? I know you're a big DC fan.
Well, I'm a big fan of the DC TV shows. I'll be more specific with that. But no, I played Injustice. Same thing. I got it on PS Plus when it was part of the 2 games per free with the membership. I'll probably wait for this one to drop to maybe 20. But one thing I really do love that there's some YouTuber, and might be multiple ones that do it. But every time a game comes out, like the last one I really watched was Batman Arkham Knight. There's people that actually edit these dialogue and intro interactions and the story mode into a full-length movie. So I can just sit there and watch, like I watched Batman Arkham Knight, I think it was an hour and a half, 2 hours long, and just watched it like an animated movie. And that'd be something that would it would spoil the game a little bit, but if you're really interested in story mode, there'll be no time after this game is released that someone will put up the full-length feature movie with it all edited together that you can watch from beginning to end. I think that's got to give them props for doing that kind of work. I'm sure it's not easy.
Oh, yeah.
The weird thing is for me that I saw Igen doing that for a couple games.
What's that?
Yeah, sorry. No one knows what Igen is. Sorry, that's what I call IGN.
Oh, IGN. Oh,
there we go. Yeah. For funny,
I was just Googling, like it was EGINE or something.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited. Like I kind of, this is the one fighting game other than like Smash Bros, which I really just kind of got into. Like it really is just, it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun, and it's just something different that it just you can relate to characters, you can have a good time, you can enjoy yourself, but at the same time, like, it's not punishing you for not being the best at fighting games. And so,
Yeah, I'd say I agree with you on that one. Like I find like I enjoy fighting games. I did martial arts for like 17 years, so fighting games are a lot of fun for me. But I need them to be a very casual experience. I'm not good at chaining together like 8-hit combos and things like that. I am very casual in my fighting games. I'll play the story mode and then I'll go online, get kicked like 20, 30 times, and then go, yeah, you know what? I've had enough of this.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not the kind of guy to be like judging where the hitboxes are and counting frames or armor or anything like that. One thing that I think is cool about Injustice 2 is that I feel like compared to the first one, there's more obscure characters in it that may not be familiar to everybody like myself that's more of a casual observer of comics. So characters like Starfire or Captain Cold or other characters of the like, I find myself like looking up information about like who these characters actually are, and it's pretty cool because I don't know who they are, and it's going to introduce a lot of new people to these characters.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give you a crash course on a lot of this stuff.
Captain Cold is that dude from Prison Break, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
By the way, who else wishes that they would have had continuity and had the same actors from the TV shows playing the actors in the movie? Like the Flash on TV show, Grant Gustin playing the Flash in the Justice League movie. I thought it would have been a great thing that's never been done if they actually were able to merge those.
I feel like they should be making that movie.
Shouldn't?
No.
Oh. Well, they're trying to play catch up. Unfortunately, what they're trying to do is they're trying to however many years of that's a good segue for what was in the show notes. But however many movies Marvel had just setting up Infinity War or even just setting up the Avengers.
Yeah,
they're trying to do it in one movie segue into the team up.
They had 4 years, and I want to say 5 or 6 films, and they tried to do it in 2. We've talked on this show at length about why the DC Extended Universe is fundamentally broken.
Yes,
literally, its fundamentals are broken.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I agree with you just because if you look at what DC's doing in the TV universe, they're doing everything right. Slow builds. I mean, besides Arrow season 4. But the slow builds of everything and the crossovers that people are anticipating, they've done that. If they did the extended universe like they did the TV universe, I think they would be neck and neck with Marvel right now.
Oh yeah, like see, this is the thing that always freaks me out about DC in particular, as compared to Marvel, where DC's one major strength is how in touch they are with everything else. The animated universe has always been good. The TV shows have always been good. Video games, comics, all that stuff has been good. It's just that one wing of the movies, which is kind of like,
which should be the key. It should be the cornerstone of their entire thing.
It is just that's the one thing that always irks me. Is like it's just the one thing you should have, you don't, and it's always going to frustrate me going forward. I just know it's going to, and I don't know what to say about it. I feel like I wish that they could restart in a way and just have that complete synergy. Like with the Marvel movies, like they're really kind of tiptoeing around like, oh, the Netflix television stuff. We're not really going to talk about that ever. And it's like, why not? Like they're kind of avoiding TV, and DC's doing the same thing, but they're keeping a separate universe. But it feels like Marvel's doing the same thing where it's a separate universe entirely because they never bring it up.
Yeah, I think I think that if they did a reset or if they rebooted again, it takes years to really get that going again. When they committed to Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill and everybody else, they just got to follow through with it, and it has to be good movies. Now Marvel or DC, I mean, I think they're taking a little bit of a lazy approach because the multiverse, no pun intended, it seems to explain everything away. If you notice that. So what they're saying in essence, I've seen an interview where they said, "Oh, well, the Flash that's in the extended universe in the movies is in another part of the multiverse, another Earth, and this one here, like the Batman that might show up on Arrow, possibly because they keep talking about, they keep putting Easter eggs in there. That could be another Earth. I mean, that's just, in my opinion, that's just a lazy way to say there's no continuity."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
If they the moment they announce Crisis is the moment we know that they run out of ideas.
Oh,
Yeah.
Infinite Crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's just gonna be weird. But
I mean,
I want them to do well though. That's the thing that kills me about it. Is like I want DC to get their act together when it comes to this stuff. But I mean, it's what my fear is though is that it's like it's toxic. Like I just watched Killing Joke and it was just disgusting.
Oh, that ending
Well,
was
the
awful.
the
That
first
ending
half
was
was
awful.
disgusting.
My God.
I just what was it like? The first egregious thing was Batman and Barbara getting together. I was like,
Getting together when she's half naked and he's not on a rooftop.
yeah, and then the fact that like Joker's not even. I timed it. Joker is not mentioned one time for 28 minutes and 42 seconds into the runtime. It's like this is Killing Joke. It's all about Joker, and you haven't mentioned him yet. Oh my God, that was so depressing. And like, I can't trust DC to do it right anymore with the animated stuff. That's the one thing in it. My fear is it's leaking over into the stuff that's good about the DC franchise. That's my fear, really. Yeah.
Well, if you want to watch that watch the Batman Arkham Knight cutscenes on YouTube. Look that up, and you can see the longest one. And that plays out like a better movie than The Killing Joke. It really does. The cutscenes for these games, when you string them together, actually have more story and the more continuity than you've seen from DC and other realms.
I loved Batman Arkham Knight. Can we do a 1 hour special next week about Batman Arkham Knight?
I'm still mad at Arkham Knight for lying. Just what was it? It was the thing about Arkham Knight, which really pissed me off, was that it was like the game's fine. It's just I have this internal grudge over it because what was it? When everybody was asking, he's like, is that Jason Todd? I mean, it could be Arkham Knight. It could be Jason Todd, and they basically responded like, no. Like it's not Jason Todd. It's not Red Hood. It's someone completely new. And I was like, oh, awesome. So it's somebody completely new. And so I went because my brother is a really big Batman fan when it comes to the Arkham series. And so he was like, he had all these fan theories. He had like the red string connecting all the pictures on the wall. And he was going all over this stuff. And he was just talking about all this crazy stuff like, oh, it could be Amadeus Arkham possessing the body of somebody else who's doing this thing. And he doesn't like Batman because Batman ruined his name because all the games are named Arkham.
Yeah, but here's the thing, mate. About the Arkham Knight. Who else could it have been? It couldn't have been anyone else. You know what? If he had took his head off and gone, "Oh, it's Superman," that would have been a surprise. But there's no one else it could have been.
Yeah, but I don't know. If you're gonna tell everybody it's somebody different, like don't jerk them around.
They weren't lying.
Imagine how this company felt when they're like, "Oh, we've come up with this really clever plot twist," and then instantly in the forums, 4 months before the game's release, they're like, "It's Jason Todd," and they're like, No, it's not."
Well, they said originally, if I was looking at a bunch of articles where they said originally it was supposed to be Jason Todd, and it's the swerve for the sake of doing a swerve. And if you're wrestling fans, then you understand why that can be a really bad thing too.
I think they did it. Sorry, man.
Okay, that's what I was going to say.
I reckon the original idea was to have the Red Hood, and they would call it Arkham Knight under the Red Hood or something like that. And then people would have Googled what the Red Hood was, and then everyone would have known. So they just wanted to call it something different. They wanted the Red Hood storyline, but they didn't want to call it the Red Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a side thing. That's a pretty big rabbit hole.
But speaking of superhero films,
Yeah, speaking of superhero films, so the age of was it the time of superhero films is upon us once more. We had Guardians come out last week, or actually 2 weeks ago, and now we're about to start all the superhero movies all over again. So next month it's Wonder Woman, and then it's going to be Spider-Man in July, and then it's going to be something else, and we end the year with Thor. So briefly, out of this little stint here, which superhero movie that is currently announced are you looking the most forward to?
Underpants.
I heard that. What about the rest of you guys?
I mean, for me, definitely Spider-Man Homecoming. Also, I don't know if you're going to count this, since I'm a huge fan of Venom. That Venom movie in 2018, I can't wait for that. That I'll see in the theater. And I normally don't see movies when they come out in the theater. That I'm going to see when it comes out, as soon as it comes out.
Yeah, man. It's going to be fun. Oh, what are you Undead? What you think about?
I don't know. I'm kind of getting burnt out on the superhero movies lately. I'm probably the one I'll go see in theaters will probably be Wonder Woman, and yeah, that's probably going to be my most anticipated, except for Spider-Man: Homecoming, because my wife's a huge Spider-Man fan. Except for the Amazing Spider-Man series, which she thinks is an abomination and should never have happened.
What was that smirk, Steve? What was that? What are you thinking?
No, I just think we're in such an amazing time. We grew up waiting for these movies. You know, we all, I guess, are at a certain age where when we were kids, we were hoping that I had to suffer through the Batman 66. I was lucky enough to see the Michael Keaton Batman, but then I was also unlucky enough to see, the
Joel Schumacher.
Joel Schumacher. Yeah, see, everybody knows. The Joel Schumacher Batmans, which I love when people say those weren't that bad. Give me a break. So
Man,
they were
Joel
switching them.
Schumacher's a national treasure.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he said he didn't mean to make the movie that. Well, we all know what it was, what kind of movie it seemed like. I'm not going to say it, but and then the best trilogy probably ever in superhero movies would be the Nolan trilogy. When you agree with Dark Knight probably being the tightest superhero movie, that's probably in my opinion, that's the best movie ever made. Ever is the Dark Knight. There's very few holes in that movie.
It's got a bad ending.
Well, I will say this, and this is where my wife just tells me I'm morbid, but I like the fact that there wasn't a happy ending. I didn't know there was going to be a Dark Knight Rises. I assumed there would be a third movie, but I just liked it because in real life there aren't always happy endings, and things do get twisted. And he did sacrifice himself for the greater good, and it left it open for the third one, which kind of like went off on a left turn. But no, the Dark Knight, I just felt like at least if Heath Ledger lived again, maybe that trilogy would have had him with the big the ending, the big showdown between those two. But no, I feel like that trilogy, and then we're talking about even just getting a Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, even the third one. I just feel like, and I'm going off on a tangent, that we dreamed of these movies, and now like we're picking them apart because we got the Batman versus Superman movie. God, it wasn't the one I was hoping for, but it sure as hell resembled Dark Knight Returns Part 2. So I was pretty happy at least with that. And it's just an amazing time to get these movies pretty much twice a year at this rate. And it's just awesome. I'm looking forward to the Thor movie because I feel like the Thor movie will really, because I wasn't crazy about the Dark World or any of that stuff. I really feel like this one's going to capture the comics more than all the other ones.
Oh, man.
And people tell me I look like them, so I guess I don't.
Because I would like to say the Captain Underpants thing was a joke. Just want to make that perfectly clear. I know my British humor sometimes doesn't get off on everyone. You said Stevie said Thor, I'm going to say Blade Runner.
Oh, that's a good one.
I know it's not technically a superhero film, but I think it's a big enough blockbuster in the same demographic that we're thinking. It just looks great, and it's weird that there are sequels coming out to two of my favorite films, Blade Runner and Alien, both in the same year, and they both might be really good. It's a weird place to be in.
I think one has a better chance of being good than the other. You can figure out which one.
Hey, I really liked Alien.
I liked Alien. I didn't know about Prometheus. I wasn't so sure about that. To me, I feel like, now this is a little bit of conspiracy theorist to me. I feel like something like that, with that so much detail, and Ridley Scott has actually said that somewhat of that is based on information that he already, I don't know, he might be just speaking just to raise interest, but he had said that that's information that he actually put in there as, there's some truth to some of that stuff. And there's people that believe in those theories. So that could be another way of looking at it going into watching the movie.
I never believe when people, when sequels come out and people go, oh, it's made the original terrible. I think that's a terrible outlook on life if that's like the biggest problem you have with films. But I do think that Covenant has retroactively improved the quality of Prometheus in terms of its characters, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, they did. I think for movies like Blade Runner and Alien, it'd be great if you can give somebody a 2-for-1 thing where they can actually watch. Because Blade Runners, my God, how many decades has it been since that movie? It'd be great to be able to say
35 years.
Watch Blade Runner and then go right into the new Blade Runner, or watch Prometheus and then go right in. It's a long viewing, but it's a hell of a value if you offer a ticket for 2 movies, and then people can really get caught up on that stuff.
And I reckon
it's actually funny you mentioned that. Actually, my local drive-in theater, I know that's throwing it back a bit, actually does that. Is they'll play, if it's a sequel to a movie, they'll play the movie before, and you can get tickets to both. It's actually really cool. They actually did the Christopher Nolan, or the Nolan Batman trilogy, actually as a whole viewing. I think it was a couple of weekends ago. They sold tickets. It was like $15. It was actually really cool. I'm kind of interested to see if they'll do that with Blade Runner or not.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing with Blade Runner: if they want to do it properly, they'll have to show the same movie 4 or 5 different times with different cuts.
Oh yeah,
oh
man! All right,
just about
that. Put it on Netflix.
Yeah, do it on Netflix. See, that's actually something that Marvel's been really kind of pushing about. Is like right before a big movie release, they'll release the most recent movies on Netflix.
Well, yeah, like Guardians of the Galaxy, Civil War, all those are on Netflix now.
Yeah, because they realize that people want to see it right beforehand. It gets people excited. I mean, I wish more companies would do that. That'd be fun.
Oh wait, sorry.
Put Batman vs Superman available on Netflix like right before Wonder Woman comes out.
I feel like I should change my answer from something that is sort of more superhero orientated. So I'm going to say Star Wars. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change it again. But no, I'm not. I'm kidding.
I thought you were going to say Bridget Jones' Diary, the one coming out in 18.
Sorry, wait, what? Say Bridget Jones' Diary? What?
Yes.
Is that not out in America yet? The new
Which one?
The third one.
I don't know. I don't know how my wife is here somewhere. I can ask her.
All right, man. Anyway, we are rapidly approaching the end of this show. But real quick, we said we were going to do this before. We have a new segment we're going to be rolling into this show called Versus. It's kind of a new segment where it's a would you rather kind of question. And for this week, we gave the task for kicking off the new franchise event with Nick. So what is your
franchise
versus question?
All right. So as anyone who follows me on Twitter knows, I've been playing the hell out of NBA Playgrounds on Xbox right now because a cartoony sports game is absolutely fantastic to play and really fun, and really pisses me off that they can make 9-point shots in a basketball game. But that's besides the point. My question is, would you rather have a NFL street style game again? Or would you like to see another sport like soccer or hockey get a more cartoony take than your traditional simulator game?
Oh, so you're talking about get a new NFL or NBA street?
Yeah,
Or-
like I'm talking more like NFL, or would you rather like another sport? I was gonna narrow it down to like baseball or hockey, but I figure I'd throw soccer in there because I know James is more of a.
At this point, I would like to say that FIFA Street has had 5 different games already. This is already a franchise.
Are you serious? FIFA
Yeah.
Street?
FIFA Street, FIFA Street, FIFA Street 2, FIFA Street 3, FIFA Pro Street, and FIFA Street.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, it's like playground in like a cage.
Yeah.
No, it's good fun.
Oh wow. Let's see. If I had to pick, I'd probably pick like a new street game. I don't know. I something about the street series in general, like where it's a little more fun. Like you're pulling off some different moves, like jumping off the wall or doing something like crazy like that. I'm not really big into sports games as much, but like NFL Street was like my favorite sports game. Like that was it. Like I remember playing on GameCube. I remember like on Christmas Eve waking up like at 3 a.m. and just playing that when I couldn't sleep. Yeah, that was I would rather have a street game.
Yeah, I would totally take NFL Street. Yeah, NFL Street was great. I played that on PS2. I had it on PSP also, and I put a lot of hours into that game, and it was a lot of fun. Being able to throw passes behind your back and shoot guys by jumping off the wall and everything, it was just great. I would love to see that today.
All right. What about you, Steve? What you up to?
My turn. Oh, okay.
Yep.
I can't believe I got 2 NFL Streets and nobody remembers Blitz, the original Blitz game. I would like to see that come back because not the second one, because the first one. Did you guys ever play that game?
Yeah.
All right. Did you ever get an injury on a player?
I probably I don't remember honestly.
Well, you'll remember this part if you did. So you get an injured player, and then it's just basically like just all the unethical, shady stuff that goes on, and you assume in football. So basically, your player will get injured and he'll be out for 3 quarters. Well, you can get him general treatment and he'll be out for 3 quarters, or you can pay this money and shoot him up with steroids and he'll be back in 2 plays.
Yes, I remember that. Now I remember that.
But that's just an example of how the original Blitz was so. I mean, they could never release a game like that today with the way the NFL is. Like they would have guys like the guy would come back after getting CTE and like try to blow up the stadium or something. They would just fall off the fucking rails. Excuse my language. They would go off the rails with everything in this game. But that's what it was considered back then. You could just have a picture of a syringe and you choose that, and then the guy's right back on the field, and it's amazing. I mean, they didn't actually show him shooting steroids in the guy, but there's guys that actually do get shots in football to numb pain and do all that stuff. They get shot up to basically numb the injury so they can play. So it's kind of realistic in a way too.
Yeah. All right. I think
steroids. So now I can talk about it all day long. I don't have to feel guilty. You might not be able to have other wrestlers on here saying that so freely, but that's okay.
I know. We'll find a guy who's a wrestler and a games journalist. Wait, there is one. I actually know one.
Who's that?
He's a guy called Simon Miller.
Salmonella?
Simon Miller.
Oh, okay. It kind of sounds still like what I said.
Yeah, he does games journalism, but as a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so he does like this, like he'll put on the powerful voice and talk to people about why Marcus Phoenix is the greatest game character because of his muscles.
Jeez.
He sounds like something else besides a wrestler if he's admiring muscles.
Yeah, but he's also like a.
He sounds like your general independent wrestling fan. That's what I meant. What did you guys think I meant?
I see it. No, but seriously, but he's getting into professional wrestling. Like for real.
Tell him I'm sorry.
I'm sure he's a big boy. He can take it.
Yeah, I'm a big boy too, and there's been days.
All right. Anyway, guys, this has been a really great show. Thank you again so much, Stevie, for coming on the show. We really do appreciate it, man.
No problem.
I know when Mike sent you the invite, I was he'll probably never accept it, but we'll throw it out there. And I was so surprised when you said yes. I was like, really? Wow.
No,
But thank you
yeah,
so much for showing up on the show. We really appreciate it.
no, it's no problem. My pleasure. If you guys ever need me back and I can swing it, I'd be happy to come back. I just sometimes, like I said, I get up early for the gym and I go to bed fairly early, but this is content and stuff I love to talk about. So it's it's easy for me to go back and forth with it.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll do some quick outros for everybody. James, I know you got to go to sleep. What's up?
Yeah, it's 2
Where
a.m.
can the people find you?
People can find me on the tweets at James_S Wilson. People can find me on the Inner Circle website, where I should be putting up more film reviews once everything's sorted with everything. People can find me just in and around the London area at gaming bars and gaming venues.
All right. And we got Mike.
Oh, and wait, sorry. And if anyone
yes.
wants to come and talk to me about iZombie, please do, because it's really good.
All right. All right. And we got Mike.
All right, guys. Once again, it's Mike from the Inner Circle. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of 53 of the Multiverse Show. Stevie, thank you so much for swinging by. You could find me on www.ticgn.com, also on Twitter, Xbox, YouTube, PSN, whatever. Thank you guys for tuning in.
And Nick.
Oh, thanks for showing up, everybody. And you can find me on basically all social media at Undead3XVI. You can follow me on Instagram and watch me try to get back into shape after all years of my laziness, if you want a good laugh. And yeah, that's about it.
All right. And Stevie, where can people find your channel?
Thanks for having me on the show, guys. Appreciate it. Nick, by the way, if you need some workout stuff, let me know. I got some stuff I can send you.
Oh, perfect.
Not a problem. But you can follow me at BW Stevie on Twitter, at Stevie Richards on Instagram. Also, if you get a chance to go to StevieRichardsFitness.com, that'll it'll provide a link to the Patreon site. I believe that's the best value. And for as little as $3 a month, you get full workout plans, calendars, all that stuff. If you go up to $5, which I feel is the best value, you get to download the HD videos for free and for offline use and keeping forever. So it's just a $5 a month supporter commitment, and it's really good. And I answer emails, I do audio blog posts, I do instructional videos, I answer emails all the time. So it's not just here's your workout, good luck, don't kill yourself. I help you along the way. So, and it's something new every month. So this month is actually high frequency training. Next month will also be that, but it'll be less days per week. So it's a lot of different stuff that I'm experimenting with too. And, that way it's tested and I know if it's good to pass along to the people that are supporting me.
All right.
Also a tech channel, since that's what we're talking about, you can just look up Stevie Richards Technology. I just put up my 2016 15-inch MacBook Pro review, and there's lots of other cool stuff up there that I think is interesting, and hopefully other people do too.
All right. Thank you guys for showing up on the show. This is Anchorman V2. You can find me on Twitter, games, every way imaginable. Anchorman V2, Xbox, PlayStation, Beam, Twitch, everything in existence. You can find me on there. Thank you guys for showing up. We really do appreciate it. And this has been episode 53 of the Multiverse Show, the greatest show on Mondays. We're out.
Yeah.